Hey kids, today I'm going to be sharing with you probably the funniest thing I've ever found when I was looking around on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. I was looking through topping lists, just, seeing how the meta is trending and, what techs are seeing success. And then I stumbled across this list in a recommended deck list under, I don't remember. I think it was some branded list. Anyway, this is apparently a winning regional Dark Magician deck. Doesn't say where. Nowhere does it say where. And this is the deck. Yeah, it's an interesting one. The lack of a sideboard is truly it's truly avant-garde deck building that I respect very greatly. Big fan of the magicalized or the Guardian Chimera that we cannot fusion summon properly. Magicalized fusion, just the one of in case you draw it, smile. The lack of a Mirror Jade, only 2 branded fusion. The 2/2 brick to starter ratio of branded fusion to Albaz is just incredible. 2 copies of Allure, 2 copies of Magician of Chaos. This guy really just likes the number 2. 2 copies of the True Name with no target for the effect. Again, absolutely avant-garde deck building on display here. Only 1 Eternal Soul. I don't know if that's standard. That one actually might be. But yeah, apparently this is a winning deck list from the WCQ Regional. Where it was, I don't know. And it's from a banned user with a link to their DeviantArt account on the in the comments. I'm gonna level with you. I don't think this is a real winning deck list. But maybe I'm just being a naysayer for no reason. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hop into a couple games and we're gonna find out. I have here the exact list card for card, even using the incorrect Dark Magician art. This is not the one that I would use, but here we are, card for card, beat for beat. We're going to play 5 games and then make a conclusion to see if the greatest duelist, that's their username, was actually a WCQ winner, and if the organizers of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck just refused to put them in the tournament meta decks category because of, I don't know, bias, bigotry, true name, propaganda, suppression. Let's get into the games. So for our first game, we'll be going first against, our opponent is on Shino Birds with the new support. This card, the Himorogi where stars align, this card's so cool. But I'm not much of a Shino Bird guy, so I don't really do much. I haven't really been doing anything with it. Anyways, we're gonna reel Illusion of Chaos to search Rod and then put a card back. Our opponent's gonna Imperm and we're gonna Allure. That's going to drop this Magician of Chaos. Then we're gonna special the DM or send a DM for Magician Souls to redraw. And wow, that is like the worst top deck in the deck. They're gonna activate the Himorogi and then normal Amano Iwado to ritual summon Sheena Baroness from the deck. Sheena Baroness is going to grab Calling, which they'll now activate to summon Shade Peacock. That's going to add Peacock and Calling again, and they're going to Calling for the Peacock to bounce the Artemis. They'll get in for 3,000, set 1 card, and during the end phase, Shade Peacock will get bounced, triggering the field spell to add back Calling. Then Baron will tag out for 2 tokens, which will add a Mono Wado back to the hand. We're going to draw in a Magician's combination for turn. They're going to special back this Shade Peacock and attempt to special Shade Peacock, but neither of them really do anything. We're going to Illusion of Chaos for Magician's Rod again. Rod effect, that's going to get us to Secrets of Dark Magic. And then I realized something. I have to tribute a card named Dark Magician to Ritual Summon. What I wanted to do was Ritual Summon Illusion of Chaos with the Secrets of Dark Magic, because then I would have a monster negate. However, none of my monsters are treated as Dark Magician on the field. So we're going to attack over the Peacock with Magician's Rod, and then concede knowing that we aren't winning the game. For our next game, we'll be going first against Pure Nordic. Wow, they're on Kotodama. That's interesting. So we're going to start things off with Magician Souls, sending Dark Magician to summon itself. Then we'll fire an Allure, banishing his secondary Magician Souls. We'll fire the second Allure, getting Magician of Chaos out of our hand. Then we'll Soul Servant to stack Magician Salvation, then draw the Magician Salvation. We'll activate the effect for Eternal Soul, and then pitch Eternal Magician Salvation and the Magical Arts Fusion to draw 2. We'll Special Apprentice Illusion, go into a Selene, and then Reborn Apprentice Illusion. Or we're just going to pass from here. Our opponent's going to draw for turn, and we are going to fire Eternal Soul to summon back DM. They're going to start off with Valkyrie, banishing 2 to summon 2 Einhard tokens, then hard summon Odin and activate Hitskalf. That's going to get them Ivaldi, which will add Svalin to hand, which they'll set and then go to battle phase and punch over Selene. During our turn, we're going to normal Fallen Valbaz and activate the effect, to which they will chain Svalin and will chain Eternal Soul. That's going to get us to another Dark Magician, and they'll negate our field. We'll punch over the Ivaldi, and then in main 2 make Dark. In retrospect, I probably should have kept the Apprentice Illusion on field, but it's whatever. They're going to Hitskalf to add Gloom Bursty, and then shuffle the card back, then the normal Ulfar, normal the Gloom Bursty, special summon Tangrisnir, and that'll allow them to Synchro Summon a card that I don't believe is real, Combat Wheel. This, of all the Synchro 6s, of all the generic 6s, Combat Wheel, really. They're going to punch over some number of our field with special Dark Magician in the end phase, and then we will normal Magician's Rod, they'll Svalin, and with no Albazes left in the deck, Branded Fusion's dead, so we will concede. For our next game, we'll be going second against just cards. It's Springans, but they're on like a gadget package and a small sprite package, and like Guiding Quang. And I don't know. This deck is sick, but I have no clue what's going on with it. They're going to Terraforming for Gold Golgonda, then they're going to fire Gold Golgonda, pitching Rocky for Merrymaker, which will then mill a copy of Brothers. They're going to attach, they're going to special Rocky rather than add Brothers back to hand and normal it, then go into Clifford Genius. They're going to attach Merrymaker with both of those, then go into Sargus, and Big Sargus grabs Tallyho. They're going to Tallyho for 3, adding and specialing Kit, then reborning Rocky and Brothers. This triggers Clifford Genius, as well as Kit and Sargus in sequence, which bounces Golgonda. We're going to grab Branded and High Spirits and Therian King Regulus, then overlay for Gear Gigant, which will then search Revolution Synchron. They'll make Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then chain Branded High Spirits to the Revolution Synchron's effect, adding Guiding Quem, and specialing the Synchron as a level 1. They'll special Quang with AFD, and mill Albaz the Ashen, and make Sprint and activate its effect, as well as reborning the Albaz. They're going to make Borlud Savage, equipping it with Clifford Genius, then overlay for Steel Storm Roach, and during the end phase, they're going to special summon Large Sargus. So during our main phase, we're going to activate Allure, and then normal summon Fallen of Albaz to force out the Borlode. From here, we can go ahead and Magicalize Fusion into Dragoon, and I don't know if you've noticed, but all their interaction targets, so we're going to win the game because our opponent is going to quit the game. For our next game, we'll be going up against Vampire. 44 cards, by the way. We're going to start off with Illusion of Chaos, adding Magician's Souls and then putting an illusion back, then mill Dark Magician to summon the Dark Magician. We'll set combination Eternal Soul and pass. And it's at this point that I realize that combination needs to summon Dark Magician Girl to negate. Our opponent is going to Foolish Burial, a Necro Banshee. Banshee places Zombie World. They're going to normal Familiar. Activate Desire. That's going to mill Retainer. Retainer pitches Grace to summon itself. Pay 5. They're going to search for Domain, which they'll activate. They're going to pay 5 for the extra normal, and then go into Sucker. Then pitch the Domain for Familiar to draw 1 and search Voivode. They're going to draw into Ghost and then reborn my Magician's Souls to tribute summon Voivode. Then reborn the Magician's Souls and go into the Zombie Vampire. They'll detach Voivode to mill 4 and reborn Scarlet Scourge, which is going to reborn the Voivode. They're going to activate Grace, paying 2 to summon itself, and then overlay for Sheridan, which will pop the Eternal Soul winning them the game. And now for our final game, we'll be going up against 59 card Mikako Ritual Sublimation Knight cards. They're on cards. They're on cards. They're on 59 cards. It's in a solder pile with a heavy emphasis on Mikako. This game started with my opponent confusing me for some Tier Laments player and talking shit immediately. I was very confused. They're going to Diviner to send Herald. Herald grabs the new Mikako Ritual Arahime. And is it just me, or does anyone else see her sword as like one of those pencils or one of those pens that can hold multiple different colors of ink at the same time? They're going to Ohime to add Ceremony and then discard Arahime, then special Ohime using Great Mikako of Legend and Mill Arabesque. They're going to Arabesque on the Diviner and then activate its effect to grab Huli. Huli is going to search Rivalry, which they will set and pass. We're going to activate Allure. That's going to get us to an Illusion of Chaos and another one for us to banish. Will Illusion to search for Magician's Souls, then place Circle on top of the deck, and then True Name to add it back to our hand. Broken. We're going to Magician's Souls for 2 and normal summon Magician's Rod, activating the effect, to which they will chain Rivalry, equipping Axe of Fools to negate it. They're going to Dark Magical. We're going to Dark Magical Circle, grabbing Combination, then Eternal Soul, go into Artemis, set Combination, and pass. We're going to activate Combination, and I'll have Dark Magician Girl in rotation. They're going to Hare. We're going to Eternal Soul to special summon. They're going to chain Armory Call, which will equip Angel Ring, which will unfortunately negate our Dark Magical Circle. Yeah. They're going to normal Diviner. Diviner sends Herald. Herald grabs a copy of Kagoda. They're going to Power Tool Braver for Metal, Silver, Durandal, and Double-Edged Sword. They're going to switch My Souls to attack, search for a copy of Sublimation Knight, pitch the TLDR, they're going to Kagura to wipe my board, burn me for 5,000, then Catfight's going to add back Angel Ring, and we're going to pop the Ohime. Then they're going to Fire Dance back my Dark Magician, and then Ohime is going to quit Dark Magician with Double-Edged Sword. We lose. They've got lethal on board. Gamers, I don't think this deck actually won anything. Shockingly enough, this is very bad. And don't play it and don't believe it. It's not good. All right, see ya.